Yeah, the experts told us not to travel over Thanksgiving, even telling college students specifically, stay put, don't go see mom and dad this year. A lot of them went anyway, it turns out. Now you're about to see their movements for the first time in real time, the potential spread in real time. Let's call up the heat map. This is Penn State right over here. That's State College, Pennsylvania. You see all that orange? Each orange dot on this map is a student's cell phone signal. A company called Tectonics pulls all this data together. They say it's anonymous. They don't know the kids' names, only tracking their locations. So you see all that orange in State College, Pennsylvania, all lit up. That's someone's cell phone at Penn State. We are looking here at the days before Thanksgiving, and you can see they're on campus. They're all hanging out, going to school, doing their thing. And then, boom, watch what happens. Look at that. Look at the map light up. And we have to widen out the map because they are traveling home for the holidays. And we're not just talking about Pennsylvania. We're not just even talking about the Midwest. They crawl all the way west out to California. Look at that. And Washington State, down to Florida, down to Texas, down to Alabama. They're going everywhere, and this is how the virus spreads. This right here, walking around airports, stopping at restaurants, shopping at stores, seeing their families up close. The company did this with other universities too, like Ohio State, Texas A&M, University of Florida, and Arizona State. And you can see this map lighting up everywhere in the country. Look at all that spread. Look at that. This is from Thanksgiving, all those orange dots heading away from their campus, coming home, and then we followed them going back to campus again. Maybe they brought the virus back to school with them. Maybe they brought it from school to your house. Maybe they picked it up somewhere else and gave it to a stranger. I want to bring in Dr. Amish Adalja with the Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security. Dr. Adalja, you're watching this heat map light up with the rest of us. What do you make of this, and what's the risk of spread here?
Well, the heat map is very impressive, and it really just shows you how connected of a society we live in, and that there are certain activities, like big universities, that really disperse students and the germs that they carry all over the country. And I do think this is the risk that we've been warning about as students come back from college for Thanksgiving, that there's going to be some risk that they start chains of transmission in their hometown that are going to be widespread and very hard to take control of. And you really have to think of college students as high-risk contacts.
When would we see the effects of this? You know how people work, right? When there's an action, people only really understand things when there's a direct result the next day. They did this, this happened. That's not how this virus works. I know the hospitalization numbers lag a week or two behind these big events. People get infected, then a week or two later, they're in the hospital. A week or so later, the death rate spikes. So when can we expect to see the spike from what happened over Thanksgiving?
We should start to see an increase in cases, maybe by the end of this week as people start to get into their incubation periods. But hospitalizations are going to take probably another week or so before we start seeing an uptick, and it may be even a little bit longer because these are younger people that might have gotten infected, and they then have to infect a vulnerable person who has to get sick enough to go into the hospital. So I do think in probably mid-December, we should be seeing kind of the full effect of what happened at Thanksgiving. Hopefully it's something manageable, but a lot of us think that this is going to only be kind of a capacity crunch when we're already capacity crunched in many hospitals.
All right, so if you're one of these people that did travel, what should you be doing right now? Should you be quarantining? Should you be getting a test? What should you be doing?
If you are somebody that was at a Thanksgiving dinner where you didn't see social distancing occurring, you should consider yourself likely to be exposed. And probably about 5 to 7 days after that, you can try and get a test and see if that helps you. But in the meantime, you should be really delimiting your contacts as best as you can. Some people will be quarantining, others may have to do certain activities, but you should in general be mindful of the fact that you might be harboring this virus and could infect somebody else.
Dr. Adalja, thank you so much. For you at home, if you want to see this map again, to see more schools, see the spread, slow motion right where you live, you can go to my website right now, rawsonreports.com.